corners of the trim here. I've got one on there. Hazel, if you could just show that. Yeah, it's gluing up. We're ready for the next one. Come back here, please. So I've got this board that I showed you earlier. There's two boards glued side by side. I've roughly cleaned the glue off, just run a chisel along to clean the glue off. From the first one that I cut, I've got the 45-degree angle left on there. And basically all I do is I'm just going to lay that in position. And mark where that one comes to, which is there, purely by eye. And I'm going to draw a 45-degree angle on that. I really need a better sliding bevel, it's just the best thing I've got and it works. Ideal. Cut that, mark that 45-degree angle. Then we'll walk up to the workbench with this. Cut that out. Sword together a bit. Just my latest toy. Just bought this yesterday. It's a lovely little Stanley block plane, which is beautiful. I've got the blade drawn back so I can run my finger over it. Used it yesterday on some of that mahogany trim. Marvellous. It comes with a little pouch. So cute. Just oil the bottom of it. Good. Back over here. Lay that in position now. Fits beautifully as you'd expect. Like that. Run the pencil around underneath that to get our curve. It's raining outside. We're now, was it the 11th of November today? It's getting chilly. We're probably below, well, certainly below 10 degrees Celsius here. It's okay for working. If it gets much colder, I'll need a heater, I expect, but it's getting there. Raining. Horrible. Now, because the light's not so special over at that bench, I'm going to go into the other shed. Walk this way, please. You come through there. Yep, you know the way. Now we can see the curve that we drew on there. It's clear enough. Skill jigsaw. I'll say the light's better in here, which is why I've come in here. There's the curve, back in the other shed. Good, back over here. It is good to have two workshops. It's marvellous, room and place, but it does involve me doing rather a lot of walking from one shed to another. Good for me, but there, you can see that fits beautifully. And we're just going to mark the other curve, a pair of dividers, which are set to the width of that. Just run gently around the curve. I should probably slip at some stage. Mark the curve out approximately at the very least. Something like that. It's a bit tricky, but yeah, it's come out about right. There we go. I've got a mark there. A bit hard to see when I'm jigsawing, so I just run the pencil around that approximately again, but just darken it up a little bit, makes it easier to see. When I jigsaw, I use my eye a bit to get the curve nice. That's about it there, reasonable. Now we get to walk back in the other shed. Here we are again. Jigsaw again. Cut around that one, obviously cut around the outside of the line this time. This mahogany is lovely to cut, it cuts like butter. Well, that wasn't expected, but there we go. That's a bit of real life. Oh, you silly thing. Trying to hold it all sort of cack-handed. Still not good. There, that might work. That'll work. Here we go. There we go, there's that one. So there's the curve. Now we go over to the sander, all set up. First job, smooth off the outside a bit. Look, see if you can see any saw marks. Pretty clear. Reasonable, I think. That's a little bit more there. Okay, the outside's easy, the inside's a bit trickier. There we go, we'll do the best. Reasonable, looks okay. Then I just want to round that off a bit. So basically, I do all this stuff by hand. You know, it'd be lovely to have a bench sander and a bench mounted, table mounted jigsaw or whatever, but you can't have everything. Sometimes you have to make do. So there we go. And some of it comes out a bit approximate. Just try to do the best you can. You know? Let's round these off now, these edges. finish that off with a hand sand, but that's it. There we go, back in the other shed. Still when you come out, isn't it? So I'm walking with a camera in your hand, doesn't it?
It's okay.
Yeah. So that's going to go on there like that. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. I said we have a hand sand at the end. Get some glue on the back of there. It's the same glue as before, the Colano Semperox 60. Lovely. Really like it. It's cold, as you can tell. The glue doesn't flow quite as well as it once did. More than enough glue. Good. It goes in position like that. Get a couple of clamps. Over there. There you go. These one-hand spring clamps. Great. Cost about €3-4 each, I think, which is reasonable. And you can't have too many clamps. You need a lot of clamps. So I've got about 20 of the screw clamps, and I've got a dozen of these spring clamps. Maybe buy a few more. Good. There we are. Just got 2 more to do. Same process. And so that goes, and a hand sand at the end. Just come out. Well, that is pretty much. That one's perfectly flush. That one's just needs a tiny touch of sandpaper afterwards. Very nice. Obviously, it looks a bit handmade, but then handmade is character as well. It gives a bit of warmth with that handmade. And when that's sanded up and varnished, and this is all painted and whatever, that'll pick out the opening there. It'll look nice. There you go. Good done. Well, it's 4:10 in the afternoon. Just sort of finishing up really for the day now. This is the other side of the bulkhead. I've turned it over. The first side is now just about done. I, in fact, didn't quite have enough of that mahogany to cut one corner, so one of those curved corners is missing. We'll still do that. The others are all done. I sanded up all the battens on the other side, cleaned it all up. It's looking good. On this side, as you can see, I've got battens around. I've got that one there that goes across, which will be the top of the bunk. The batten that the top of the bunk rests on. Battens up the side there. I wandered around a bit. I marked out various bits on this side, so I've got the 4-deck line there. Hatch, top of the hatch line. I've got made these 2 mahogany corner pieces here that the 4 hatch will fit to. There's another piece of recycled mahogany that I had. Got one of them on either side. The line for the top of the hatch coming in there, and that's where we are. Got clamps in use all over the place. And then I'll just wander through to the other shed and show you that. Yes, here we are in the other shed, and you see here is the 2 halves of the 4-deck beam gluing up. One half there, obviously, and one half over there. Which will be fixed on that bulkhead when they're dry and ready to go. So it's laminating to get the curve of the 4-deck crown. So another 8 clamps in use here, and well, actually 10. And I've run out of clamps, which is why I'm not gluing up the curved piece for the top of the hatch. I'll have to wait for tomorrow for that. I've got the wood ready, but I'll have to glue it up tomorrow. I've got no more clamps. You can't have too many clamps. I know I obviously haven't got enough. Anyhow, that's where we are. It's a mess. Let's put some tools away, tidy up. It didn't get above 6 degrees today. No, I'm lying. It's 7. At midday, it got up to a heady height of 7 degrees Celsius. Now it's cooling again, you can feel the temperature dropping. I have the heater on in the boat shed there. I can see my breath here as I'm talking. So winter temperatures are approaching. We'll see how we get on. Use some heating. And yep, there we go, that's enough for the day, time to tidy up. Yeah, so here we are, Sunday, cold. See the breath, about 5 degrees I think. I've got the heater on, but it makes a bit of difference. So I've just cleaned up these 2 4-deck beams, 2 halves and 4-deck beams, kept them in place, they're screwed and button loose, they're fitting, and I'm about to glue up and laminate up the curved piece to the top of the hatch that comes in here. Yeah, and that would be that side done in terms of the woodwork. Just need some epoxy and glass. Obviously trim to go around that side of the opening. That's that side. Sunday in Germany, we're not supposed to make noise. It's a day of rest, which means you can't use machine tools. I did run the plane over these because it was very quick, so you get away with that, but you can't do any substantial planing, which means you have to do quiet things, which at this stage of the build is a little bit limited. Later on, painting and that sort of thing, painting, varnishing, whatever, that, you can do that on Sunday, no problem. But it's restricting a bit. On the other hand, you have to respect these things, but it does make progress a little tricky at times. People would complain if they did much machining on Sunday. Same goes for bank holidays and that sort of thing, which can be a bit of a nuisance. It's the day you've got off work and you actually can't do any work. But anyhow, I say you have to respect these things. There we go, that's that. I will go and laminate up this curved piece in a minute. It's cold. We'll see how it goes. The forecast for the next week is about the same. All the time it stays like this, it is the temperature you can work in. I've got 2 weeks off at Christmas, let's hope it's not too cold then, so I can make some real progress. This one's looking good though, it's nearly finished. Get that piece there on, the trim around there, then I'll glass and epoxy it. This will be outside here, so that will be I've got 6 ounce cloth, the heavy cloth, the 6 ounce cloth, and everything's outside. This part around here, as I say, 6 ounce cloth, 6 ounce cloth, 2 ounce cloth on everything is inside. That's what we should do. I decided to put the battens on before the epoxy. It would have been possible to blast the whole thing first, but I thought it'd be better to get the battens on first, then I can glue them with the Semproc glue. If I glass and epoxy it, then I've got to glue with epoxy. I try to limit my amount of epoxy use. And I can cut small panels into here of glass. There's a bit of cutting involved, but small panels, and just do it in separate panels. So 1 panel there, 1 panel there, and 1 panel around there. There'll probably be a little bit there. Same the other side. That's not too bad. That's where we are. This one's, let's say, getting towards finished. Over in the corner here, if you can come over this way, Hazel, you see my lovely little stock of recycled hardwood pieces. People sling all sorts of bits out, and whenever I see a bit of hardwood, I pick it up. Yeah, all sorts of junk here, but these pieces, when you run them, oh, that's not very good. There's some worm in it. Anyhow, when you run them through the saw, clean them up, cut them for cleats and that sort of thing. They're ideal. These are window frames. That's a door frame. These are window frames. Other bits and pieces, anything. Hardwood. If it's good, it goes in the basket there or in the corner. These are old pieces of teak I picked up out of a boat yard. Teak that come from my old boat, Miss Molly. That's a bit of an old door. Stuff, keep hold of it. You never know when you're going to be able to use it. You can always cut cleats, cut smaller pieces out of it. These pieces of teak, for example, I imagine them going on the bow, under the bow roller. That's what I expect to use them. Keep your eyes open, pick it up when you can. Whenever you see a bit of hardwood, mahogany or teak particularly, pick it up. It's good stuff.